Sonny stood at the edge of death, yet his greatest enemy had already begun shaping his destiny long before claws reached his throat. Every chain around his wrists carried more than iron. Every frozen breath carried more than suffering. Hidden inside the nightmare waited a force that challenged fate itself. And Sonny possessed only one chance to uncover its meaning. His first trial had barely begun, yet every step already carried the weight of a legend waiting to awaken. After the humiliation of discovering his miserable aspect, Sonny allowed frustration to pass through him like the icy mountain wind. His anger possessed purpose, yet his mind quickly returned to survival. He inhaled the crisp mountain air, appreciating something that barely existed in his old life. Pollution had always poisoned the skies above the outskirts, while wealth purchased clean air inside the city. Here, despite chains and freezing winds, every breath felt pure. Even inside a nightmare, Sonny discovered a reason to appreciate life. That simple perspective revealed one of his greatest strengths. He embraced reality exactly as it stood and searched relentlessly for every possible advantage. The slave caravan continued climbing toward the summit while exhaustion consumed one prisoner after another. Bodies collapsed beneath endless fatigue. Soldiers removed those who failed to continue and cast them into the endless abyss without hesitation. Sonny watched their descent with quiet compassion, fully understanding that every victim had reached the end of a painful journey. Yet despair failed to control him. Several days earlier, he had already accepted death as part of his future. He had even carved his own memorial beside those of his parents, transforming fear into acceptance. That decision granted him remarkable clarity. Once someone accepted the worst possible outcome, courage became easier to embrace. His earlier vision returned to his thoughts. The scattered bones covering the ancient road still remained vivid inside his memory. Sonny realized that freezing temperatures would never become the caravan's greatest danger. Something else waited farther up the mountain. Something powerful had already erased every trace of the previous caravan centuries before. Time itself had shown him that horrifying future in reverse, granting him knowledge that nobody else possessed. Every passing minute carried the group closer to the true battlefield. Determined to understand every tool available for survival, Sonny summoned the mysterious runes once again. His disappointing aspect still remained exactly the same. Yet his attributes demanded closer examination. The first attribute immediately captured his attention. The strings of fate wrap tightly around you. Unlikely events, both good and bad, are drawn by your presence. Sonny finally understood the true meaning of fated. Destiny itself gathered extraordinary events around him. Fortune and disaster walked side by side, constantly competing for influence over his life. That single revelation explained everything. His absurdly rare aspect reflected terrible luck. At the same time, extraordinary possibilities accompanied that curse. Fate had chosen to make his existence unpredictable in every possible direction. The second attribute, Mark of Divinity, revealed another mysterious connection. You bear a faint scent of divinity. Sonny recognized that this gift connected him directly to his identity as a temple slave. Sacred places would acknowledge his presence, while certain divine forces might respond to him differently than ordinary people. The practical value remained hidden for now, yet the implication reached much deeper. His existence carried traces of forgotten gods whose influence still lingered throughout the dream realm. The final attribute proved even more fascinating. Shadows recognize you as one of their own. As darkness settled across the mountain, Sonny suddenly realized he could see perfectly through the night. While every other slave struggled beneath fading light, shadows welcomed him naturally. The darkness became an ally rather than an obstacle. That quiet discovery transformed disappointment into cautious optimism. His weakest aspect concealed remarkable gifts beneath its humble appearance. Before he could explore further, a command echoed across the caravan. The soldiers ordered everyone to prepare camp. The exhausted slaves collapsed into a tight circle around a blazing fire, while guards distributed tiny portions of stale bread and freezing water. Hunger remained constant despite the meal, and desperation spread throughout the prisoners. Every person searched for warmth. Every movement reflected exhaustion. Even inside this brief moment of rest, survival remained uncertain. Sonny quietly observed everyone around him. His attention soon returned to the gentle scholar whose calm intelligence had already impressed him earlier. Nearby, bright red berries grew through the snow. The desperate prisoner behind Sonny crawled toward them, believing fortune had finally smiled upon him. The scholar immediately intervened. He explained that the berries carried the name Bloodbane. They flourished wherever human blood had soaked into the earth. Slave routes nourished them through centuries of suffering. Their beauty concealed deadly poison. That brief conversation expanded the world surrounding Sonny. Every plant, every mountain, and every forgotten road carried history shaped by violence. Even nature itself remembered human suffering. Then realization struck him. The campsite matched the exact location from his vision. This very place held the bones buried beneath centuries of snow. Every detail aligned perfectly. The attack would begin here. A deafening roar suddenly erupted from above. Massive rocks and frozen ice crashed toward the terrified slaves. Chaos consumed the camp instantly. Prisoners screamed, chains tangled together, bodies fell across the frozen ground. Sonny remained calm. His enhanced vision pierced the darkness while his instincts reacted before panic could spread. One measured step backward saved his life as an enormous block of ice exploded directly where he had stood only moments earlier. Preparation rewarded awareness. Knowledge preserved opportunity. Then the true horror descended. A monstrous creature crashed onto the mountain path. Towering above every prisoner, the beast possessed 4 grotesque arms, enormous claws, filthy gray fur, 5 pale eyes, and rows of razor-sharp teeth dripping with hunger. Strange movements rippled beneath its skin like living parasites crawling endlessly through its flesh. Every detail inspired instinctive terror. Sonny immediately recognized something even more disturbing. This creature exceeded everything that should exist inside a first nightmare. Its very presence violated the rules explained by the old policeman. The impossible had arrived. The monster attacked instantly. Sonny reacted without hesitation. Instead of meeting overwhelming force directly, he moved sideways at the precise moment necessary, allowing the broad-shouldered slave to receive the fatal strike. Blood exploded across the snow while the massive prisoner collapsed directly onto Sonny's body. His survival came through awareness rather than strength. Yet another nightmare immediately unfolded. Something wriggled beneath the corpse. Sonny felt movement inside the dead man's body. Bone spikes erupted through flesh. Muscles twisted violently. Teeth multiplied. The corpse transformed into another monster before his eyes. Sonny understood the horrifying truth immediately. Only tyrants possessed the ability to create lesser versions of themselves. Such creatures belonged far beyond the expected limits of a first nightmare. His fated attribute had attracted something unimaginably dangerous. Every ordinary expectation had vanished. Fear demanded surrender. Sonny answered with action. He grabbed the heavy chain and threw it around the newly transformed creature before it could fully awaken. Every movement reflected practical survival rather than formal combat training. Years spent fighting across dangerous streets had already taught him the value of timing, positioning, and decisive action. Intelligence replaced brute force. He shouted toward the surviving prisoners. "Pull on that chain as though your lives depend on it." This time, they listened. Together, they tightened the chains around the creature, while Sonny wrapped his own shackles around its neck. He used his entire body as leverage, pulling downward with relentless determination. Blood poured from his wounds, bone spikes pierced his skin. Exhaustion crushed every muscle. Still, he continued pulling. Every second became an eternity. Every heartbeat carried the question of which would fail first, the monster or Sonny himself. He answered that question through pure endurance. At last, the creature's body collapsed lifeless into the snow. A familiar voice echoed through the nightmare. "You have slain a dormant beast, Mountain King's larva." Victory arrived through intelligence, adaptability, and unwavering resolve, rather than overwhelming power. Sonny entered the nightmare as a chained slave, carrying the weakest aspect imaginable. He emerged from his first true battle as someone who had accomplished the impossible through courage alone. Fate continued weaving impossible dangers around him, yet every impossible challenge revealed another hidden strength waiting beneath the shadows.